cannot believe it's already been 4 months since I moved to Paris. I literally was just packing my bags and now basically a Parisian. I wanted to make this video for you guys because I know that some people are considering moving abroad or just want to know what it's like, and I know that moving by yourself to a whole different country can seem really daunting and scary, and I'm not gonna lie, it is. But it's an amazing experience. So yeah, I just wanted to, you know, answer some questions that you guys had and just clear up any concerns, fears, or whatever it may be. So I hope you guys find this video helpful and useful, and let's get into it. So you say you wanna get away. We don't need a plane, I could be your escape. So the first question is, how do you even start? And I thought this was a really good starting point because the idea of moving, whether it's abroad, whether it's just to your university, across the country, whatever it may be, can be overwhelming in general. But I think honestly it takes a lot of curiosity, a lot of eagerness, and a little bit of desperation to make it happen. I was really desperate to move to Paris. I wanted a new life. I wanted a fresh start. So I feel like having that initiative kind of helps you make it happen, but definitely doing a lot of research into the country you're considering. Watch a lot of YouTube videos, those are super helpful. And then obviously, you know, you have to deal with the visa and stuff like that, which we'll get into in the next question. What is the visa process like, and how is it different from studying abroad? So this is completely different from studying abroad because I've actually graduated. I'm not studying at all, and it's not affiliated with a university. I'm working as an au pair through an au pair agency called Pair Butrfly, and I will put them down in the description below in case any of you guys are curious. And as for the visa process, I would say it was a bit complicated because I remember when I was first looking into becoming an au pair, they actually weren't letting in any Americans at all due to coronavirus, and I think that's when the desperation comes in a little bit because I was so eager to go that I like kept refreshing every day. As soon as France changed the rules, I started applying and everything. But basically I had to get my au pair contract, so me and my host family had to make an agreement about the hours I was working, the responsibilities, all of that. Once all the paperwork was submitted, I had to make an actual physical appointment in one of the visa center locations, and unfortunately for me there wasn't any in North Carolina, so I had to go to like one of the biggest cities, which is like DC, Atlanta, New York. And I chose New York because that had one of the earliest appointment times. I had to, you know, have all my paperwork, show up, they had to do my fingerprints, they asked me a few questions. But if you guys have any questions, please leave them down below and I'll try to answer them as best as possible. I got a lot of questions about friendships, dating, relationships in general, and I definitely understand that this can be a big concern for people because, you know, you're moving away from your family, you're moving away from your friends and your support group in general. So, you know, meeting people, it can seem really scary, which honestly I'm still trying to figure out. Even though it's been 4 months, I would honestly say that I don't have like my set like core group of friends, if I'm being honest. I'm still trying to find them. Maybe they're trying to find me, I don't know. But yeah, so the first question is, how did you make friends? I would definitely say the friends that I have now are from WhatsApp group chats, Facebook groups, even Instagram. And I also do have French class, so like that was a really great way of meeting a lot of au pairs. The next question is, how have you been trying to meet new people? Honestly, I've just been messaging people on Instagram if we follow each other, like, hey, I don't know if you need a new friend, but I'm here, like just reaching out to people. Also, I've tried Bumble BFF for the first time. I don't know if you guys know, but Bumble has like a best friend section where like instead of dating, you're looking for like a friendship. And it's really cool. I met like a few people through that. So I thought this question was interesting. How to make friends that are not English American? Does it happen organically? If this question is referring to like how to make French friends, I would say I have a few French acquaintances, not any like friends yet. And I've heard that it's hard to make French friends, but it definitely can happen organically. I think you have to kind of really immerse yourself. Like I think maybe like if I went to like a French university, or I don't know, just wherever French people hang out, then it could happen. But I feel like I haven't really plugged myself into those places yet. So it's definitely possible, but I feel like it's easier if you can speak the language, which I can't. So as I'm editing this, I realized that I didn't really explain myself that well, but I definitely think that making French friends is harder, but I think making international friends, so like people who aren't French, but are also not American, is so much easier because like Paris is a very international city. It's very diverse. So yeah, I definitely think it's really easy to make international friends, just not French friends, if that makes sense. Okay, bye. So the last and probably juiciest question is, how is the dating scene in a foreign country? So I feel like in Paris, there's definitely a lot of options, definitely a lot of, you know, cute date spots and stuff like that to go. But I feel like it's also not exactly what I personally expected it to be. Like when I walk around these streets, people are coupled up. People are happy and they are in love. But yeah, I just feel like I'm personally not experiencing that. It's just not as like romantic and like grand gesture as I thought it was. I don't know why. I thought this would be like a fairy tale. I don't know why, but it's not. It really isn't. And French men are men, period. So it's the same story whether you're in America, whether you're in France. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'm just gonna leave it right there. What was the biggest lifestyle adjustment you had to make? When you're living in a big city like Paris, or even New York, you have to walk a lot. Or use public transportation. So I didn't realize how much I'm exposed to other people, and I'm always out and about, and I just have to be cute while I'm doing it. So definitely walking and like getting dressed like nice, like being presentable, because you will never catch a French person, or at least I haven't, in like sweats or like a basic outfit. What was a big culture shock you faced? I don't really know if this is considered a culture shock, but I realized being here as a tourist and as an immigrant, expat, whatever you want to call it, is two completely different things. And I think when I first moved here, I had these like rose-tinted glasses and I just thought I was like a tourist, you know, living in Paris. But no, I am an actual like member of society, member of France now. But when you're a tourist, you know, you only see the highlights and then you get to pack your bags and go home. So I think definitely that was one of the big culture shocks. I don't know if that's considered one, but that's my answer. What is something you love and hate about moving abroad? So I think I definitely love that you get a fresh start. Like nobody knows you. It just feels nice that it feels like it's a new chapter in my life. Like after I graduated, I like took on this new journey. But as for what I hate, I think like sometimes it can be really challenging to be in a new country by yourself, because it feels like every day you have to like push yourself out of your comfort zone, which is something that I wanted, but it can get a little exhausting. There's nothing that seems familiar to you, so just like constantly being exposed to the unknown can just be a little exhausting sometimes. Okay, so this was a really good question. It says, what if you can't speak the language? Should I still go? 110%. I think this is the best way you could ever learn the language. Like you being in French class or Spanish class, whatever it may be, or like using Duolingo, like that's not gonna get the job done. Honestly, like for me, I recently went on vacation with my host family, and like they were speaking English, but like majority of the time they were speaking French, which is understandable. And like that's when it clicked for me that I needed to learn the language, because I felt left out and I felt like I couldn't, you know, express myself and communicate. And it wasn't in a bad or like negative way, but it was in like a, okay, like I am in a different country, I need to push myself to learn their language. Like I can't be désolé, parlez-vous anglais every day. I can't. It's not right. So honestly, yes, I think come to the country that you want to go. Like learning the language is a part of the fun. Honestly, it's a part of the process, it's a part of the experience, so don't let that hold you back at all. So the next question is COVID better over there? I feel like yes and no. Like I know we've been hitting like record numbers in terms of new cases every day, so that no, but I think here they're more strict and regulated. So I don't know if it's a good or bad thing, but like here we have this app actually called Tous Anti-COVID. I don't know if you can see it, but basically if I want to go to a restaurant, if I want to go to the movie theaters, bars, I have to like scan my app, and basically it has my vaccination, so I have to prove that I'm vaccinated. This next question kind of triggers me. If you guys know, you know. So how were you able to open a bank account in a new country? So if you guys have ever seen any like American in Paris, or even a French person, honestly, talk about the French administration, then you would know it's just, they're toxic. That's how I'm gonna put it. They're very toxic. Because it's just very complicated, and I feel like stressful. And I went with my host dad to the bank, and it seemed, you know, fine and dandy when we went in, you know, opened the account. But to get my actual card and start using my, you know, card, it took me almost 2 months, which it was just a hot mess. And basically, I don't even know if I should get into the details, but like, but you know, that's a part of like moving abroad and living somewhere new. Sorry, that was really stressful. And so the next question is, how are the living expenses? Luckily, being an au pair, I'm gonna make a whole video about what it's like being an au pair and stuff like that. You don't have to worry about that many expenses, meaning I don't pay for my phone bill. I don't pay for my transportation, like Navigo Pass. This is how I like get on the metro or the trains and stuff like that, or the bus. I don't pay rent. The only thing I do pay for myself is food, and that's really it. But I would say that, you know, Paris isn't a cheap city by any means, so I just have to be really efficient with my money, and I'm not. So now we have some random funny questions. The first one is it like Emily in Paris? This is another triggering question, and I'm gonna make a separate video about this as well. The answer is absolutely no. Emily in Paris had me, and I think all these au pairs and American in Paris is fooled. I mean, obviously it's a movie, or like, you know, fantasy, it's a show, but just something about it just felt so real, and I thought my experience would be like that. But the answer is no. Like, of course there's beautiful moments, and I think once the summer comes, it'll feel more like Emily in Paris. But as of right now, no, living in Paris isn't as glitz and glam as Emily makes it out to be. So Emily, you're a liar. No, play. And so the last question that literally made me cackle was, how much are croissants? They're like $1 to like $2, maybe $3 if you're like in a really bougie area, but they're not actually that expensive, and they're really good, much better than US, of course. Like, I used to eat the ones from Sam's Club, like they were gourmet. But yeah, that was basically it for my video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you find it useful. I know that moving abroad can seem really difficult and scary, but it's honestly a really exciting experience. So if you guys have any other further questions, please leave them in the comments below, and don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe as usual. See you guys in my next video.